My name is Bill Collette, and I am a Port Alberni resident for 13 years, and which means I'm still under probation and looking to, get that sorted out probably in the next 20 or 30 years when I'll finally be recognized as a Port Alberni person. My friend Bob and I have started off a podcast series. We're calling it Consequential Conversations. And it's exactly as the name implies. These are conversations with people that are located right in your own backyard here in Port Alberni or nearby communities, people that we thought we know and that perhaps we don't. People that have stories to share, people that have a background, and we all have a background. And what Bob and I are going to do is we're going to interview these people, and we're going to probe a little bit. And we're going to find out a little bit more about them. Chances are we'll laugh. Chances are we'll learn things, be surprised, and be educated as well. We've got quite a list. Certainly Bob's got an amazing list of people that he's met over the years. And we're going to be starting these interviews very soon. And we look forward to learning and sharing and laughing and broadcasting these stories. It all started, Bob mentioned to me maybe several weeks ago that he was doing a program where he was being sent a question online once a week from an organization that then it prompted him to respond to that question by typing out his answers. And as he's telling me about this, I said, hey, wait a sec, Bob, I got the same program gifted to be my kids a few years ago. And mine was a year long. I think Bob's is a 2-year program, but equally impressive in that it just encouraged us to think about fun things that we've maybe done in our past, and eventually to become a story or a book that our family will choose to read or just put on a bookshelf. Who knows? But anyways, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bob. He's got many, many stories to share, and we'll take it from there.
Well, I think maybe we should have added a third C to the name of our podcast. Call it Casual Consequential Conversations, because we hope they'll be casual. We hope they're enlightening. The consequential portion, I looked up Merriam-Webster and a few other points, and it says consequential is important or significant, meaningful, maybe even educational, and it may enhance or change understanding. And I think we've had a couple of early on attempts at this, and we find very interesting and some attitudes and some points of view. Yeah, we're shaken, and I hope that's good. Like you say, you're recently retired.
I am, yeah,
and I've been unemployed for the past 20 years, and since 2006. This month, in fact, in January, we sold our business, and maybe this is the first meaningful thing I've done since, even though there isn't a paycheck that comes with it.
There isn't, but
no, but
okay.
It could be almost a full-time job. Creating, first of all, setting up the equipment, and then scheduling interviews, and recording it as we hope we were doing, editing, and ultimately releasing these, hopefully on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. And so we've suggested names back and forth, and a few people we've talked to already have suggested others, and the list keeps growing. And I'd love to read the potential list of interviewees to you.
Yeah,
I'm only going to read the names of the ones who said yes, that they'd be happy to be interviewed. But of course, Jerry Hickey, a lifer here in the Valley, mid-80s. Tom McAvey, not a lifer, but he's been here long enough and he's done enough.
So he's passed probation?
He's passed probation. We'll give we almost make him a Laker. He's been a Laker, I forget, close to 40 years, but that's close to being a Laker. Ed Spencer, who turns 100 shortly here, and has agreed to be interviewed. And of course, Tom Hertel, the fellow I visited that kind of spurred this in my mind to get out and interview people. And well, in fact, his wife, I said somebody should record him, and she said, you should, to me.
Oh,
and I guess I took it to heart. Jeff Cook, who many people in the community know, great guy and different perspective. Dwayne Parfit, Dwayne's been around for a fair long time, a little longer than you. And Joe Monrefay and his wife Robin, very long-time residents, well, forever for Joe, and Robin very involved. And She came out of Island Health and stuff. And of course, that led me to Robbie O'Dwyer. And a lot of people in town will know Robbie, a doctor in town here who's now moved to Qualicum, retired to Qualicum. Angie Blake, as said, she'd be glad to be interviewed.
Great, yeah.
A character that I knew when I was a young teenager, took me hunting the first time, hunting geese at McCoy Lake Farms. Wayne Earthy lives down the inlet, has some interesting perspectives from down that direction. Betty Hansen, Nee Flitten was her name, and there was a Flitten store out here at Lake when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Betty's in the 80s.
Betty's, yeah.
Yeah, you met her, a great lady. John Cassonade.
Oh, interesting.
John, very interesting guy. He says, when I talked to him last night, he said he wasn't important enough to interview. I think he's one of the more important people in the community.
I do too. Yep, he's definitely on the list.
Tom Watts.
Tom Watts
is glad to be interviewed. And of course, his friend Ken McCrae.
Yeah.
I had the two of them out a couple of years ago. I don't know if we have enough.
We might not have enough time recording
capacity for
Ken. Yeah,
gigabytes and megabytes.
Yeah, we might have to. Yeah, that'll be. Well, he'll challenge you, Bob. I mean,
well, I'm supposed to keep quiet in these interviews.
Oh, okay.
Other than just a question or two. Gary and then Mary Haggard, his mother, who's over 100 and willing to be interviewed. Talked to Al Boyko last night. Al, long-time, maybe forever resident, retired logger and logger sports and everything else that he's been involved with. He promised not to tell stories of the first time I worked for him out Throat Lake Division.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm glad he's not going to do that. Jim Pelk. And Jim was involved in many things in the community park, and we're going to visit him and that. Other people that we've got on our list, and I don't know, they haven't said yes yet, so I don't know if I'm allowed, but I'll throw some names out there. Judith Sayers, Marilyn Murphy, Darlene Colson. I'd like to talk to Darlene. I've talked to her before. You said Murray Lawler, possibly.
Love to chat with Murray.
Crazy Ezra, Bob Wilson, or Wayne Chase, an old-time logger, retired logger, and that. Anyway, the list so far, with 52 weeks in a year, if we were going to produce one of these a week, we've already got more than half the year booked. So keep your calendar open for it.
Well, a lady that I talked to yesterday that is agreed to is Kathy Krisnard, former owner of Little Bavaria, and what an impressive lady. So
that's on my potential list, but I didn't put her down until I heard from you. So
she'll be great. So we're going to interview her. And then
some of these, most of them, I would expect may be done in the person's home. And just to get a flavor and where they're more comfortable to sit.
Well, just like we are right now, we're in Bob's home here on Sproat Lake, which for people that might not be familiar with Sproat Lake, it is one of the most beautiful lakes on Vancouver Island, if not the province or even the country.
We voted for Shuswap. All the Lakers voted for Shuswap. It's the best lake in BC. To keep the crowd away. But somehow we didn't do a good enough job.
This is an incredible spot. So here we are at Bob's place. So,
So we also may look at another location or a set location where there's some people from out of town here, and when they come to town and visit, it might be nice where we set up and do these interviews. We'll try and make them in places that are what I would call more inspiring, like background inspiring, Harbor Key, or wherever we can set up that you got a good view aspect behind, other than a few doors and a china cabinet.
Well, one of the goals here too, like just even a satellite goal, is we'd like to invite people to Port Alberni, and if we can show them just by the backdrop just what kind of incredible place this is, that's great.
Well, I think it's the people's stories will create the best backdrop. Like how the town developed. The history of the town. Some of the stuff. We had an interesting short test interview in which a fellow talked about the Air Force contingent that was based here at Sproat Lake in the 40s during the war. Air Force at Sproat Lake. There was an Army camp in town. I knew that, but I never knew. And I've been here 79 years. Of course, I don't remember the first few. At the lake, but an Air Force contingent here that managed the telegraph line from here to Ucluelet during the war. It's very interesting. So
really interesting. Yeah. If you want to learn about the history of Port Alberni, tune into us here.
It'll be history from various perspectives. And it might all be. It's really neat because as you get older, you can remember things that nobody can counter. Some of these 100-year-old interviewees may be able to pick out the.
Well, that'll be good.
In the
Another name that agreed to be interviewed is Bob Canvieser, and Bob's
a good guy,
a really, really interesting guy. I met him shortly, actually, in the interview process when I moved here 13 years ago, and Bob wants to talk about his time with the Air Force. So things that a lot of people who've met Bob might not really know, unless they see him at the Remembrance Day.
Well, I do. I want you to ask him about his 50th birthday surprise at the school board office.
Oh, okay.
And we'll just see what sort of answer comes out.
Yeah, it was a surprise for him?
It was a surprise for him with Donna Brett and Heather Maloney and myself.
Oh, no kidding.
We performed a surprise presentation. I'm not sure he'll even tell you about it. But
he might not, but we can plant that seed and see whether he says, next topic.
So, Bill, if we're back, employed without pay, and that we should have a coffee break.
Yes.
Can I make you a coffee and we can
absolutely
mine there too.
So, Bob, we have a few lined up next week that you've told me about. I think we start on Monday, correct?
We start on Monday, our first interview, official interview, and I don't think, I hope we got enough recording space on this one. It's Tom McAvey. Tom came to town and was just absolutely a spark plug for so many things. The school's wrestling programs, educational programs. Then he and Wendy Ewing single-handedly got us the multiplex, and they did it out of determination and whatever, because it was turned down the first time. They worked buns off, went to many public meetings and council meetings and everything else, and finally we got the multiplex. And then on top of that, Tom helped us keep and get the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
And his educational program with BCHL and other stuff he does, just amazing. It's going to be a really interesting conversation.
It is. Well,
where we'll stop him or where we'll start.
Yeah, right. Well, I've met Tom a few times. I haven't seen him for a few years, but impressive guy and nothing but admiration for him. So
on Tuesday,
that'll be good.
On Tuesday, we're meeting the most likely the oldest or second oldest interviewee we've got on the list so far, at Ed Spencer. And Ed's got a place here at the lake right across from me. The driveway is just 2 doors up on the other side of the road. A big piece of property with cabins and cottages and his house there, and an antique boat that he used to putt around the lake in. I'm going to ask him what he's going to do with that boat. Then I'm on the Maritime Heritage Society.
Oh, right.
I don't know what we do with it for space, but a beautiful boat. Double-ender, most likely 1920s vintage. Ed and his wife Myrtle, who passed a little while back, know more about the local history and especially Faber Road and Sproat Lake back in the 1920s and 30s, and that when it was really a heyday for sort of upper end Americans and people from all around the world came here in the 30s and 40s, and quite interesting. He should have some interesting conversation there, as well as working at Sproat Lake Division for, I think, 40 years.
Wow, that'll be good. Yeah, I look forward to that. Never met him.
And right after that, Tommy Hertel.
Yes.
And, Tom Hertel's Meats, I think everybody in town knows Hertel's Meats. Tom's semi-retired or retired from it. He still has a workshop there. I've been in his workshop. He, as a hobby, started building violins, harps, and cellos. And these are fine instruments. And I saw some of the work in this little workshop of his, unbelievable fine art for a fella who, stories, I don't even know if they'll go to that side of the equation. They might go all the way back to Paul Hertel, his dad's zoo. We had a zoo in Port Alberni that people came from all over to come and see. Well, it was at the end of Beaver Creek, not in Port Alberni.
Yeah. I know you were telling me about that.
Lions, cougars, and an elephant.
Imagine. That is going to be something to hear. So, yeah. So I think, folks, I do hope you tune in to Consequential Conversations. This project is going to be a lot of fun. As Bob said, it's going to be a job. And
you got to invite. Our list is only the names that have come to us.
Yeah.
We're looking for people. If anybody's interested in participating or in being interviewed in one of these casual consequential conversations, yes. Bob Cole at shaw.ca or
bcollect57, that gives away my year of birth, at gmail.com. So, but I'll have that on the video here as well with our cell numbers. And so please reach us if you've got people that want to be involved or yourself. And we look forward to connecting with you on that. What more, Bob? Do you think we're ready?
I guess we can finish our coffee.
Close this off. We'll finish our coffee, and welcome again to Consequential Conversations. We might also be looking for sponsorship if anybody's interested in helping us out.
Not for personal pay, just to cover
just to cover some costs here. But right now, that's not really important to us. The two of us are really excited about doing this, and we look forward to sharing stories that we're going to learn about, but you are too.
You're thinking these will be posted on Thursdays, we're thinking?
Yeah, probably. The plan is try and post every Thursday. I don't think I'm going to absolutely promise that, but we're going to do our very best weekly. And
how do you find it?
You'll find us on YouTube. You'll find us on Spotify. Initially, we will broadcast it through our own Facebook pages just to start the wheels turning. And but yeah, so we've got a YouTube channel set up. It'll be at Consequential Conversations. And yeah, so look for us there, and we'll see you soon with our next broadcast. Bye for now.
See you soon.